14 days across Africa, a safari from Victoria Falls to Masai Mara to the Serengeti. Imagine an African safari where the journey begins where thunder meets water and ends where the Indian Ocean kisses the horizon. From the mighty Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe, through Kenya's Golden Plains, to Tanzania's vast Serengeti, this is a 14-day odyssey across the heart of Africa. A journey where every sunrise brings a new country, every sunset, a new story. We are taking you on a carefully curated cross-border safari expedition that connects three of Africa's most legendary safari destinations. This isn't just a trip, it's a carefully orchestrated symphony of waterfalls, wilderness, cultural interaction, and the world's greatest wildlife spectacle. From the roar of Victoria Falls to the silence of the Serengeti Plains, from the Masai warriors of Kenya to the ancient human footprints of Tanzania. This is Africa as it was meant to be experienced. Just stay with me to the end. Day 1. Arrival into the African soil. We begin our journey where the earth breaks open and the Zambezi River plunges into the abyss. We shall be spending 2 nights at a luxury hotel in Victoria Falls town. The locals call the falls Mosi Oa, the smoke that thunders. And when you tour the falls the next morning, standing at the edge of the world's largest sheet of falling water, you understand why they gave it that name. Over 500 million liters of water crash down every minute during peak flow. The mist rises 400 meters into the air, visible from 30 kilometers away. You don't just see Victoria Falls. You feel it in your bones. You taste it in the air. And from above? It's like watching the planet breathe. But Victoria Falls isn't just about the water. As the sun melts into the African horizon, we drift along the upper Zambezi, a sunset cruise. Hippos yawn in the shallows. Elephants come down to drink on the far bank. You enjoy a sumptuous dinner on the boat. It is an experience that none of our guests has ever forgotten. There's a marimba band playing somewhere in the distance. The air smells like wild sage and river mud. This is where your African rhythm starts. Slow, deep, unforgettable. Day 3. A morning at leisure to absorb what you've witnessed. And then, we fly north. To the eastern part of the great African continent, the landscape shifts beneath us. Red earth gives way to green highlands. We're crossing borders, languages, ecosystems. We touch down in Nairobi, Africa's safari capital. A city where ancient traditions and modern ambition collide on streets bustling with matatus and Mercedes. But we're not here to stay. By the next day, the 5th day, we're on a bush plain, flying low over the Great Rift Valley. And then we see it. The world-famous Masai Mara. Golden plains. Endless. Spotted. Alive. The adventure we've been waiting for is just about to begin. We savor the wonders of the Mara for 3 days. We have flexible schedule of safari activities running at our own pace. Here is a sample of our daily schedule. 6:30 in the morning. The sun is rising. The air is cold and thin. Coffee steams in your hands as the engine turns over. Off, we leave with our safari guide. This is the hour when wild Africa wakes up hungry. As the sun lifts over the Masai Mara plains, the theater opens. Lions, not in cages, not behind glass. Right there, 20 feet away, living their lives as if you don't exist. Elephants moving like ancient caravans across time itself. A leopard in a fever tree, completely unbothered by our presence. Buffalo in their thousands. Rhinos grazing in the distance. This is the Big Five. Not a checklist, not a trophy, but a humbling reminder that we are guests in their kingdom. And if you want to see it all at once, you rise with the sun, like an eagle. From a hot air balloon drifting silently above the plains, the Mara reveals herself completely. A living tapestry of survival, struggle, and breathtaking beauty. Between game drives, we're invited into the world of the Maasai people. We visit a village, warriors who've lived alongside these animals for centuries, who navigate by stars, who speak the language of the land. By day 6, you've stopped counting animals. You've started counting blessings. You have been staying in amazing safari lodges with all the little luxuries of life. On the 8th day, we cross from Kenya into Tanzania, where the landscape softens and lakes appear. The journey from Masai Mara to the Serengeti itself becomes meditation. Acacia trees stand like ancient sentinels. Children wave from dusty roads. And then, Lake Victoria, the largest lake in Africa, the source of the Nile. A body of water so vast, it creates its own weather. We rest here. Watch the fishermen casting nets as they've done for generations. Let the water work its quiet magic. Tomorrow, from the 9th day, the Serengeti awaits. But tonight we breathe. If the Masai Mara was the theater, the Serengeti is the opera house. 14,000 square kilometers of wilderness. No fences, no boundaries, just earth and sky and the rhythm of life itself. This is where over 2 million wildebeest make their circular pilgrimage every year, following the rains, following the grass, following an ancient GPS written in their DNA. And where there's prey, there are predators. The Serengeti doesn't apologize for being wild. It celebrates it. For 3 good days, we become part of this ecosystem. Just like we did in the Masai Mara, we wake with the animals. We follow their patterns. We witness moments that David Attenborough would envy. Birth, death, the endless, beautiful, brutal cycle. They say the Serengeti changes you. They're not wrong. By day 11, we are ready to climb into the Ngorongoro Highlands, where the air gets thin and the history gets deep. First stop, Olduvai Gorge, the cradle of humankind. This is where Dr. Lewis and his wife Mary Leakey made some serious discoveries. The legendary paleoanthropologist and archaeologists discovered some of our earliest human ancestors. 3.6 million-year-old footprints, the moment we stood upright and started walking toward civilization. And then, we reach the rim, the Ngorongoro crater, the world's largest intact volcanic caldera, a self-contained Eden where 25,000 animals live in 260 square kilometers. As we descend 2,000 feet to the crater floor, it's like entering a lost world. Black rhinos, pink flamingos, lions lounging in grass so green it looks artificial. All of it contained within these ancient walls. We picnic by hippo pools. We photograph zebras against a backdrop of crater walls. This isn't a zoo. This is what Earth looked like before we fenced it in. From the crater floor, we check into our luxury safari lodge for hot shower and evening meal. The last leg of our safari awaits tomorrow. Days 12 and 13. The final chapters of our safari story. Lake Manyara National Park, where the forest meets the lake, and the legend of the tree-climbing lions was born. Nobody's quite sure why they do it. Escaping biting insects? Better vantage point? Or maybe they just enjoy the view. The lake itself turns pink with flamingos during certain seasons, hundreds of thousands of them, filtering algae, painting the shore in living color. On day 13, we move to Tarangire Park, and everything changes again. This is the land of the baobabs, trees that look like they were planted upside down. Some over 1,000 years old, hollow enough to hide a car inside. And the elephants. Tarangire has the largest elephant population in northern Tanzania. Not just a few, hundreds, entire dynasties moving through the dust. We watch calves play in muddy water holes. We see families greeting each other, trunks intertwining in what can only be called love. This is how safaris should end. Not with a bang, but with a sunset so perfect you don't want to leave. Day 14. Farewell. We arrive in Arusha, the safari capital of Tanzania, for one last meal. One last conversation about what we've seen. How do you summarize 14 days like these? The weight of an elephant's gaze? You don't. You just carry it with you. Let it change the way you see the world. Because Africa doesn't let you go. Not really. She stays with you. In the quiet moments. In your dreams. Calling you back. Ready to make this your next adventure? Visit AfricanTravelHub.com or contact Hallmark Travel Planners to plan your personalized African safari today. Find out contacts at the description section of this video. Every journey is different. Every story is unique. But they all start with one decision: to say yes to Africa.